Howdy, folks. Welcome to Cattle Trails Showcase, our September edition. I'm Ron Wilson, Poet Laureate. I have to be your host. Today, we are zooming to Old Cowtown in Wichita, Kansas, to learn about a very special event coming up in just 2 weeks. So we are excited about that. I do want to make sure I get in my save the date announcement for the 2022 annual conference for the International Chisholm Trail Association. The conference will be on October 14 at the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum in Oklahoma City. We see Michael Grauer from the museum on the screen with us. The day after that, that's October 14, Friday. On Saturday, October 15, will be the Chisholm Trail Festival in the Oklahoma City area, which attracts thousands of people. So make sure that you mark Friday and Saturday on your calendars and join us for that. The purpose of the Cattle Trails Showcase is to continually highlight the communities, historical elements, museums, and other attractions along the Chisholm and the Western Trail. The showcase is brought to you by the International Chisholm Trail Association, of which Dennis Katzenmeyer is president, Michael Grauer is vice president, Nancy Lawrence is secretary, and Mary Lou Rivers is treasurer. And our showcase chair is Lonnie Stephen. Our guest today is Nikki Connor of the Old Cowtown Museum in Wichita, sometimes known as Wichita Red. Take a look at her on the screen. Why in the world would they call her Wichita Red? I just can't imagine. Maybe known as RedRock. I've come to learn she's the owner of RedRock Photography, which is an excellent enterprise. She's been a professional photographer in Wichita for some years. And she's been working hard on Old Cowtown's Wild West Days, which are coming up soon at the Old Cowtown Museum in Wichita. So, Nikki, please tell us about the upcoming events at Old Cowtown.
Well, hello, folks. I'm so glad you're all here this morning. Old Cowtown Museum is 71 years old. We've been in Wichita since 1950, and we're throwing a big old fundraiser this year. So our fundraiser is called Wild West Days. And like all museums, we're needing money. So that's why we're doing this. I started working on it last August, and I've invited in groups from all over the West. I mean, we've got everything from chuckwagons to gunfighters to singers. So it's gonna be quite the event. I'm gonna share my screen with you right now and give you one of our videos before I tell you much more, to kind of give you a feeling for some of what we put into this event. So let's see if I can do this correctly here. And here we go.
Not seeing your screen yet. Not seeing your screen yet, Nikki.
You're not seeing it. Now Mike Andre's happily talking. Okay, let's try again. Okay, so I hit share screen. Aha, another button here. Let's back this bad boy up.
Looking great.
All right, so that kind of gives you a little bit of a flavor for what we're putting on for this big event. What we started out by doing was thinking we want to have a big gunfighter arena. And we started contacting gunfighters from across America and took interviews, and we narrowed it down. We've got the Central City Wild Bunch coming in, Guthrie Gunfighters, Morrowbone Springs Gunfighters, Texas Top Guns, Flint Hills Outlaws, Holden Posse. So they're coming from all over the place. They're going to be doing shows every 15 minutes, but interspersed in those 15 minutes, we're also going to have 3 different dancing troupes, actually 4. We got our Victorian dancers, the Caldwell Bella Border Queens, the Daisy Longstems, and the Delano Dollies. Dancing Girl's always a big hit anywhere you go. Then we brought in, and I think these are kind of interesting, we brought in historical legends. I'm going to try to share my screen again here and see if I can get this down right this time. And I'll talk a little about what I mean as far as historical legends. Well, this thing goes right over your bar. Move that over. So the idea when you're talking about a historical legend is the reenactor who doesn't just present themselves as an Old West person. They go ahead and they become somebody from our legend, such as U.S. Marshal Bill Tillman. Luke Grimes likes to play Luke Short. Sorry, that's Will Grimes. You've got Big Nose Kate coming out of Arizona, or as we all know, Buffalo Bill Cody. So as they walk around on grounds and they talk to visitors, they're talking to visitors as Margaret Borland, or as U.S. Marshal Fane, who's one of the first U.S. Marshals for the Kansas Territory before we became a state. And they get to meet the history of our time era. So that's really an interesting thing, having historical legends on grounds. And they'll each take their 15 minutes of fame and tell you a little bit about their story. So Phil Coe will tell you what a notorious gunfighter he was and gambler. And we've got quite a few of these. In fact, this is coming in, and he's going to be Ira E. Lloyd. I'm actually kind of curious to hear about that because I don't know a lot about Ira E. Lloyd. And that's what we're hoping from a lot of our visitors. One of the great things about this is we've got these people active from across the nation, and they've been sending us little videos along the way, introducing themselves.
You can't hear the video.
Can't hear it. How do I do that then? Well, it's too bad because this is really a cute video too. But they've sent us these little videos and we've been sharing them publicly on our Facebook page. And it's really bringing in the visitors. The other things that we've done really strong is we've gone for doing historical demonstrations. You know, most events you go to, they always got the gunfighters. Gunfighters are important, is what the public thinks. But as historians and museum people, we like to bring what is that time era that we're trying to present to the public. And so in the past, we've done events called Age of the Gunfighter, which has been excellent at Cowtown, brought in lots of people. But we wanted to do something different. And this time we brought in historical demonstrations along the way. So when you're talking about a historical demonstration, now you go ahead and you start hunting for people who really bring your time era alive and who are specialized in it. So in doing that, we've gone and found different people from across the West. We've got Henry B. Crawford's coming in from Lubbock, Texas. Anybody in the reenacting history world knows Henry. He's an amazing person. And he's going to put on a buffalo camp. So our visitors will be able to step up and learn the history of the buffalo traders and skinners who went across the West. We've got the 10th Cavalry coming in. If you've never stopped and seen these boys and their ladies, I think they put on one of the best demonstrations telling about the time century. Our dancing girls, of course. But we're real excited about this. Coming up from Texas is Wild Bill's chuck wagon demonstration. Now, one of the things about chuck wagons, we've all watched them. We usually have to purchase stuff or we don't get to taste it at all. But thanks to Greenway Alliance, not only are they bringing Wild Bill to us, but they're buying a menu from Wild Bill. And that means we're going to serve samples to our visitors. So that's something totally different than a visitor normally gets at an event, that they'll get to step up and get a free sample from the chuck wagon. I'm also quite proud that we got historical camps. If you've ever been to Cowtown, we're huge. And if you haven't been to Cowtown, you need to come see us. Now, we're putting historical camps all the way through. And some of our campers are very unique in that they will invite you into their camp and they will show you how to live in the 1870s and 1880s. One of these is the Hollingshead family out of Northeast Kansas, Missouri area. And they put on this beautiful campsite that they walk people into and explain everything that a family dealt with traveling across the West. Walk them through their tent and everything. So, like I said, it is for Old Cowtown Museum. And we are charging $9 for adults to get in, lesser prices for kids. But we also have a special going on. So if you go to our website during September, you can go ahead and get yourself a family membership to Old Cowtown. Notice I'm pushing this as a board member because that helps out our museum. All memberships go right back to supporting a museum, as it does with most of them across America. So if you use a code SEPT22, you get $10 off a family membership. And it's not good for just Wild West days. It's good all the way through to every event we have through next September. So it's a great chance to come in and help out the museum's fundraiser by buying a membership and by coming to see us, not just for Wild West Days, which we really, really want you for, but also for our other events that we got throughout the year. Okay, you see, let me pull out of here. And the other thing that makes an event special are the vendors. So I'm a stickler on vendors because I'm a small business owner. I don't double up my vendors. You know how you'll go to an event and you're like, oh, look, it's a candle person and a candle person and a candle person. We don't have that. Every one of our vendors is selling something different. Every one of our vendors is excited to be here. We also mixed and matched historical vendors with our modern vendors. So among them, for example, we've got Wayne Joplin. Wayne Joplin is down from the, let me see, get my directions, the southeast corner of Kansas area. And he's a traveling blacksmith, and he'll be talking to people and showing how blacksmiths worked on the trail, which is an interesting point of view because at most museums, you see them at their sedentary forge inside of a building, but he's going to be doing trail blacksmithing. We've got Carico Leather. Do you guys know who Carico is? David Carico builds leather saddles, holsters, implements of the West. He also is loved by Hollywood. So you've seen Carico's stuff. Most recently, if you watched The Highwayman with Kevin Costner, they were wearing his holsters. If you watched 1883, Faith Hill was riding in his saddle. So he's going to be there selling his works and talking about the leather work of the time era. Hats by Grizz, he is so amazing. And he's become one of those rarities. He actually makes hats from the felt, steam, everything the old-fashioned way. And he's going to be doing demonstrations of this in our Empire House up on stage. We put him underneath the spotlight because there's so few of them left. Another one I think is going to be really great is Cynthia Sews. You don't ever see a woman millinery shop. You don't know what a millinery is? A millinery is a hat maker for ladies. And she's going to be making and selling hats there, which is really a fun item for a lot of historians to see. And can't have an event without James Country Mercantile. James Country Mercantile out of Liberty, Missouri has some of the best shopping around, and they're going to be there. And so is, where's his at? Lou Grizz Trading. Lou Grizz travels all over the nation. He's going to have this huge tent full of goods. And then you can see we've got a lot of fun people in between. So that's another thing that we've got offering to our visitors is all of the different vendor chances. If you're a reenactor, you want to look for these guys there. We're putting them in our saddle makers shop. Reenactment Guild of America, everybody goes, they offer insurance to reenactors. Reenactment Guild of America does a whole lot more than offer insurance to reenactors. And they're bringing 12 of their district leaders to Old Cowtown for our event, September 24th and 25th, to talk to reenactors and help them build their skill and present history even better. So it's going to be a really great chance for you to talk to people who know how to do this. You could say the right way. As a reenactor, the reason why you want to attend an event like this is the fact that it gives you a chance to improve your skill as a reenactor. When you see other reenactors, you suddenly start realizing, hey, we need to up our game, or hey, we could be doing better. Another reason why to attend an event like this is the fact that you're going to Old Cowtown Museum. We are 23 acres. We are not false front buildings. We are not little cardboard setups. We are actual historic buildings that have been brought in across Kansas to create this town. We'll get to walk through our buildings. It will be brought to life in ways that you've never seen Cowtown brought to life before. It makes it really an amazing event overall. So September 23rd, we're going to open our doors at 6 p.m. and we're inviting in our members and our sponsors. So if you're a Cowtown member, remember you can get the discount right now by going to oldcowtown.org, and you can come in at night, see 2 night gunfights, which means you get flames coming out of guns. And you'll get a lot of other entertainment. We've got singers. David Zerfus is going to be there entertaining. And we're going to have Heart/Chuckwagon on hand. And Heart/Chuckwagon is going to be cooking up chicken fried steak dinners and selling them for $20. The truth is $5 goes back to our fundraisers. Once again, by buying yourself a dinner, you're going to be helping out the museum. We'll close the doors at 9 o'clock and open them back up on September 24th at 10 a.m. Everyone, and I do mean everyone, so show on up and we're going to give you a wild show. Every 15 minutes, there'll be legends, gunfights, dancing, historical demonstrations, just everything you can imagine. And you'll get to meet the cast of Cowtown, plus all of these historical reenactors have decided to come in from across America. Now, let me tell you something else about these historical reenactors. They are the most gracious, amazing people I could hope to meet. The people that you will see putting on these shows and doing these demonstrations, we did not pay them. We did not provide hotel rooms. We did not buy them dinners. They agreed to come and help our museum. They understood how important museums of America are. They came to us to put on this show on their dime. And that's just an amazing thing when you think about the fact that we got 200 plus reenactors that will be standing around these historic grounds when we open the doors at 10 a.m. On Sunday, we'll open the doors at noon and close them at 5. So are you guys going to come to Wild West Days in Old Cowtown, Wichita, walk the historic streets and see the people of Cowtown and the historians and reenactors of the West? I sure hope you are. For more information, you can also check out, let me see here, join us on our Wild West Days Facebook page, and we keep it up to date. We'll also tell you a little bit about one more little item that we're going to get, because we're telling you all, you got to bring some jingle with you, because the other amazing donations we've had is people from across the area have been donating books, artworks, clothing, all sorts of items for us to have a raffle. Everybody from Phil F to Viking Forge. So these are just a few of the items. Nancy's putting it all together and she can tell you there's a lot of stuff. Plus, we got these super cool poker chips. They are the official clay poker chips, and you're going to be able to use them and go into our gambling hall, where we're going to let you go ahead and try out the Pharaoh and the other games of the Old West. So we're hoping to see you all at Old Cowtown Museum, September 23rd for members, sponsors, and donors, 24th and 25th, to have the best step back into time you've ever had. Any questions?
Outstanding. Now, how about a virtual round of applause for Nikki, RedRock?
Awesome. You almost
Awesome.
made me cry when you were talking about those people all coming on their own dime.
They're just amazing. I've been rounding them up since last August, and I've met some of the best people across the West. Ellie English, who does Big Nose Kate, is going to be singing for us and working in the gambling hall. Big Nose Kate was Doc Holliday's girlfriend. It's just really cool. Nancy was just showing in our gambling hall, we're giving away money. Jack Wizifer, who is who does a lot of, what is it? He builds props for Hollywood. He created the 1869 rainbow dollar bill for us for Wild West days, that when you try out in the gambling hall, you'll get one of these bills. He's also going to do an amazing demonstration in our bank called the Era of Money. He has all this different money from the different time eras. He lets the kids touch it and explains how money changes from the wildcat banking up to what we have during our eras of the cattle trail. Cool.
Nikki, the collection of reenactors,
Mhm.
historical demonstrations, and vendors that you have pulled together is absolutely amazing to me. That is phenomenal. So $9 is the admission.
That's for adults. So of course, kids are less.
Okay.
And
And you mentioned a promo code to buy to get a family pass for the year. So you can get that family pass for the entire year. And you might tell us that promo code again?
you bet. You go to oldcowtown.org, support Cowtown, and you can buy a membership. Our family membership is $55 during September by using the SEPT22 code. And like I said, it gets you in everything because we still got all of October, which includes county fair, education days, a ton of Halloween events. We've got Victorian Christmas for 2 weekends, and then we kick it all back off again next April, and you're still using that same season pass.
Thanks. Questions for Nikki from our group?
Nikki, this is Lonnie. I had a question on a clarification on the Saturday time that you're opening. I think you said 2 a.m. Is that 2 p.m. or 2 a.m.?
10 a.m. to 5
Oh,
p.m.
10.
is our
I'm sorry.
Yep.
Okay, I misunderstood you. I was going to say 2 a.m. would be pretty early, but I imagine that's when everybody be setting up anyway.
We're going to start setting up on Thursday because we've got that many people coming in. Let me try one more screen share here. I had saved something and I might be interested people. Let me see, share. At least I thought I said, oh, I'm in raffles still. Like I've been saying, if you've never been to Old Cowtown Museum before, and I know some people here have, others haven't, this is our museum, 23 acres. You just don't see anything like it. We've got down here is our residential. Then you
It's
walk
Nikki, that's not showing.
top share.
It's trying to load, but
Must be too big.
must be a big file. But
Okay.
which makes your point. It's a huge space.
Huge.
Old Cowtown is located in.
Okay, so my map's too big. I tried. But like I said, we've got a residential area, Old Town, business district and industrial district. We have got Longhorn cattle on grounds and people are bringing their horses. If you are a photographer or you love to take photos, you should be there. There's going to be so many photo ops. It's going to be unreal. And I know that we've got several professional photographers traveling in from across America for just that reason, because they want to catch all these people.
Nikki, is there still an opportunity to donate to your auction?
Yes, always. Nancy's
Is that-
happy to put more things on the list. Don't
Okay.
watch that smile she has on by it.
Will there be any kind of a catalog representing what's being donated?
What I'm doing is not a catalog, because right now I have over 30 things that are donated. So what I'm doing is just, I'll have a sheet. I don't know how, I guess I could do a catalog, but taking pictures of all that, I don't have time. I'm making these sacks that each one will have a sack, and what we're doing is not an auction, but dollar tickets are $1, and we're hoping that people will buy 20 or 10, and then you take your tickets and you put them into, you put your name and phone number on there, and then you put that ticket in all the sacks that you want to try to win. So we'll just draw one ticket out, and you could be the only one in that sack, or you could be one of a bajillion. But if you really want to win something, you need to put a bunch of tickets in there. I know I had somebody say, well, those tickets should be $10. I go, I wouldn't buy a $10 ticket. I'll buy 10 $1 tickets, and I'll put them all in one sack if that's really what I want. But I also will put them in one in every sack. So, but no, to answer your thing, I don't have a catalog. it would be too difficult. But every item that's donated ahead that Nikki knows about, she puts them on the website and our Facebook page. So the word gets out to what they are.
You have to be there to win.
No.
No, we're gonna
As
draw
long as you
sometime.
write your phone number legibly, you will be notified.
We're gonna draw middle of Sunday afternoon. That way, if you're a reenactor still on grounds, you can take it home with you. But otherwise, we'll be calling people. And the other reason we can't put together a catalog is, well, you just asked if you could donate something. We're having donations brought in Friday, Thursday. One of the things that
Yikes.
reenactors, you've got to go in the meat market where the raffle's at, because RJ Preston handmade one of his special sombreros for the raffle. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
I just happen to have it.
Oh, she does.
Well, let's take a look.
And I've heard of other things that are coming in. I mean, we got some beautiful artworks coming in, handmade stuff.
We'll take it out of the plastic. I want to see this.
This is the first time he has done the diamond concho design. He's got a horsehair tail on it. There's also a key he put on there. It says the key to the West. It's a memory. And then it has got the long braided Rieta stampede strings. And on the inside, he went ahead and did the vintage calico, and everything is hand stitched and trimmed in leather on the edge of the sombrero. RJ did a masterpiece for this.
I've already decided this is going to stay in plastic because I don't want anybody putting their greasy head inside of it or their nasty, dirty hands all over it.
Not that us cowboys have dirty hands.
I'm going to figure out a way. You can still try it on. But
We need to take it over to Hat Man Jack's and have him tell us what size it is. And then we won't have to have him try it on.
That's too much work.
Any other questions?
You're doing good, lady.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Nikki? There's a comment in the chat. Henry Crawford is one that Michael Brower knows. He's an excellent, excellent reenactor. That's the gentleman from Lubbock, as I recall.
Yeah,
Henry's
he's the
amazing.
best.
That's the other great part of being a coordinator of an event. I know all of you have probably done this before, is the conversations that you have, the people that you meet across America. It's really amazing. I've got to know Henry and I can't wait to shake his hand because I already feel like I know him. Just never got to look him in the eye and smile at him.
How many volunteers are you anticipating if this is going to need? I mean, to help you out with Cowtown volunteers.
We're going to need our full staff out there, and they are holding up their hands and getting ready for it. For instance, our staff will be helping the gunfighters in the loading zone. So we got to do safety checks, splatter tests, all that stuff that's required as reenactors. Then we'll mic them up, and two of our volunteers will escort them to gunfight arena and introduce them, and they'll do their show and escort them out. So just that area there, we're going to need quite a few people. Plus, we've got to have camp guards. I know it sounds really strange, but these people are living out of their tents for a weekend. And I don't know about you guys, but reenactment stuff is not cheap. It's, you know, they say, get your kids into history, they'll never do drugs. They won't have any money left. And it's true. Reenactment stuff is not cheap. So we're going to have volunteers hanging out around the campfires and such, just kind of making sure the visitors are only looking. And then we're going to be having to be there all night too. We're camping out as reenactors out there to be on hand in case anybody needs any help with anything too. So it's going to be an interesting weekend. Now, something the public doesn't get to experience, but our reenactors are really looking forward to. And like I said, there's over 200 of us because I'm feeding them dinner. The board has said, yes, we're going to do dinner. And so Saturday night, we're going to do a thank you dinner for these people. And we've got 242 of them signed up for dinner, if that says anything. And after dinner, we brought in Fiddler's Dream, which is Derek Doty's group out of the Flint Hills. And they're going to play music and we're going to have a contra dance. I am so excited about this. I haven't done a contra dance since 2006 at Round Mountain in Yale, Oklahoma. So the contra dance is the caller, which is our fiddler player, tells you all the moves. That means anybody can step out there and dance the 1870s. And I think that's quite the thank you for these reenactors, giving them a huge family dinner and then a dance afterwards.
Sounds like a blast. And as Lonnie said, it takes a lot of volunteers to pull this together. Maybe everyone knows, and it's kind of been alluded to here, that Nancy Lawrence and Mary Lou Rivers are also on the board at Old Cowtown and are central to making this event happen along with Nikki. But Nikki's,
Well, I want to tell you, this was Nikki's dream. She came to us a year before she even started, and I think she already had things in place. She is the one who's gotten all of this put together. We're fluff, honestly. We keep asking her, what can we do? What can we do? Well, she's the one who's had to do all this. Yes, I cut all them little ribbons for those gunfighters, and cut all the tickets, like over 4,000 tickets for the raffle. But she's the one who contacted all these people, and they're all coming to her, and she's gotten almost all of the raffle items. She's done all of this, all the literature, all the promotional, all of that. And that's all Nikki. She's amazing.
I think she needs a round of applause.
A raise.
I do.
Thank you, guys.
Give her a raise.
Cowtown's lucky to have Nikki.
Indeed.
I just understand the job. You know, as a volunteer means I came to work. And so I showed up to volunteer. And as a volunteer with Cowtown, I can't think of anything better than to put on a huge event to showcase our museum to the rest of the world.
Well, we're excited about it. We appreciate you and all the volunteers who are making this happen. So mark your calendars, September 23, 24, 25, that weekend in Wichita at Old Cowtown Museum. Go to the website, go to the Facebook page, use that promo code. Thank you so much, Nikki, for your presentation
You bet.
today.
Let me show you the Facebook page one more time in case you
Great.
didn't get it, because I think that one's kind of important, because with that
There's your
Facebook
map.
page. Oh,
And
there
there
was
was
the
the
map,
map.
wasn't it? I just put it on. Well, now we know. If it's a big image, let it sit for a while and it'll come on up. Okay, so this is our Facebook page. You will find two of them when you go out this look, because we've got another one that is a private. So you want to join this public one. Private's where we're discussing all the ins and outs and getting everything set up. This is the public one. And on it, we give the times, photos of the events, raffle items, everything that's happening. So it's a great resource if you're thinking about coming to Wild West Days.
Very good. Thank you, Nikki. How about another round of applause for Nikki, Old Cowtown and Wild West Days. Thanks, Nikki.
Thank you.
We're excited about that, and we're excited about plans in October, including annual conference. With that, I'll turn to our showcase chair, Lonnie Steben, and tell us about next month, Lonnie.
Well, thanks, Ron. I see Michael's still on, and I really hadn't talked to him about this, but we might. Michael, would you be prepared to say a few words about the museum?
About the museum or about the meeting here? Or
Well, the
both?
meeting and event at the museum.
Okay. We've been wanting for a long time to have a more substantive Native American component, and we'll have a speaker from the Chickasaw Nation to come and talk about Chickasaw rancher Montford Johnson, who passed away in the latter part of the 19th century, but very successful rancher, drove cattle up the Chisholm Trail, was friends with Jesse Chisholm, and she'll come and talk about that historical figure whose life became the subject for a movie that just won a Western Heritage Award last year called Montford. So she'll be here, and we'll also have a panel of craftspeople who obviously use the trail stories and the subsequent traditions that were sprung from those trail drives to do the work that they do today. So there'll be a hat maker, who's a woman, a bootmaker, also a woman, a saddle maker, a rawhide braider and horsehair braider, and also a spur maker who happens to be Kiowa. So it's a nice panel, and that'll be in the afternoon. And of course, we'll have the business meeting as part of that too. Plus the recently opened First Americans Museum will be there to take a tour in the morning if you like. So our meeting really starts in the afternoon, as I said, with the business meeting and also the presenters. Of course, the museum is open while you're here too, so you can look around, especially our granite trails map in the floor of our American Cowboy Gallery. I encourage you to see that while you're here. Is that what you wanted, Lonnie?
Yeah, and then we also want to thank you and the museum in particular for opening your arms and helping us. I mean, we're really all looking forward to come experience this, and it's just another great sharing of history. And we've got a couple of really neat months ahead of us.
We sure do. And then, of course, the Chisholm Trail Days at Yukon is the next day. And of course, Ron or somebody else can speak to that. I've never been to that, so I'm excited that everybody's going to get to go. I personally can't go because of a memorial service I have to attend, or I'm going to attend in Canyon, Texas. So hope you'll forgive me on that. So
Michael, you put in the chat a link to the contested planes event. Would you say a word about that?
yeah, that's a film by Ken Spurgeon, who's a professor there in Wichita and a really successful filmmaker. He's won an award for the Home on the Range film, and really is doing a nice job with this. The Contested Planes is a story about the German family who were massacred near Fort Wallace in Kansas in 1874. There were 4 little girls, all kidnapped by Cheyennes. Eventually, they were all rescued, and this is the story about the events that precipitated that. So it's a docudrama that includes Mo Brings Plenty, who you know from Yellowstone, Buck Taylor, of course, who was in Gunsmoke, Darby Hinton, and Mary McDonough are the dramatic actors that are part of that. And yours truly is a talking head in that. So that'll be screened in Wichita at the Orpheum Theater tonight at 7:30. So if you're there and don't have plans, Nancy's already said she's tripping the light fantastic tonight, so she can't come.
I've already made plans to go to a dang baseball game, and somebody else bought the tickets, and I hate
Gotta
to
go.
back out.
Gotta go.
I
But
plan on going tonight, and also to insert, part of it was filmed at Old Cowtown.
yeah, that's right. That's right. So they filmed it in parts of Kansas and the Texas Panhandle, and elsewhere. And Wyatt McCrae, who's Joel McCrae's grandson, is also in the film, as is R.W. Hampton. So some other people who are part of that. So it looks, you can see the trailer off this, I think off that link. But there'll also be a panel discussion with those of us who are in the film, and I'll try not to embarrass any of you all while I'm there.
So make the event tonight in Wichita if you can. Watch for other opportunities to see the contested planes. October will be an exciting time. Our next Cattle Trail Showcase is actually going to be on October 7th. So happens to be the first Friday of the month of October, but that will be our opportunity to highlight Molly Spencer Farm, which is the site of the Chisholm Trail Festival. So we'll have a chance to do that on our showcase in October. And then October 14 and 15, we will be together in person. Those of us who can make annual conference will be at the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum for the program Michael described on Friday, October 14. Basically, that begins with a luncheon and an afternoon program, a social and behind the scenes tour of the museum that Friday night. And then the Chisholm Trail Festival, which attracts thousands of people, will be in nearby Yukon during the day on Saturday. So join us for Cattle Trail Showcase on October 7, and then the Chisholm Trail Conference and Festival on October 14 and 15 in Oklahoma City. So be watching the Chisholm Trail ASSN.com website for that registration information, and we sure hope you can join us.
Ron, I believe we're going to have a Zoom link to that if you can't attend. That's going to be provided by the museum, and we'll have to get information out on that pretty soon too. So So if you can't attend in person, you'll be able to see some of the, at least the highlights of the thing via Zoom. So
Great point, Monty. Thanks for pointing that out. And many, many thanks to the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum for all the work that they're doing to make that happen. I do believe we're going to have a board meeting for the International Chisholm Trail Association immediately upon the conclusion of this program. And Michael, were you raising your hand there?
Yeah, I was. I happened to see someone stand up with a Kansas Jayhawks national champions T-shirt, and I wanted to see that one more time because I wanted to confirm that I saw that. Just a point of clarification there.
Are you
And
dreaming?
by the way, remember my Jayhawks are undefeated right now in football.
Undefeated. Yes, yes. Keep rubbing it in.
1-0.
How come I didn't see that shirt?
Look at that. Look at that.
Wow. Yeah.
Look,
There's some history,
88.
it's an old shirt.
but
Well,
proud.
good.
But
Carolyn?
proud.
I can't, there, I do have my unmute. It's my old shirt from 1988,
Excellent.
resurrected,
Yeah, that would be another national championship year for the Jayhawks.
It's
right?
bold but proud.
It's kind of hard to keep count. They just, I only have 5 fingers. Oh, here's another one. There we go.
Yes, stay with Michael. He'll keep rubbing it in. You can count on it. Folks, thanks for joining us on Cattle Trails Showcase. To close our program, this is Ron Wilson, Poet Laureate, saying thanks for taking time to join us in this place. And come on back next month for our Cattle Trails Showcase. Happy
Thank you,
trails.
Nikki.
Thank you for having
great
me on.
presentation.
Thank you very much. You guys have a wonderful day. Enjoy your weekend.
And Nikki, I may see you seating. I'm going to try to make that at the Orpheum. So